So today we are going to discuss in continuation to the green entrepreneurship, the challenges and the risks associated with the green entrepreneurship. So the green entrepreneurship actually, since it is a new concept, and in anything that is introduced new always faces several challenges. And it is often very unique to integrating environmental and social goals into the business operations. So, identifying and overcoming these challenges is very important for the success and scalability of green ventures. Some of the challenges can be discussed as, first of all, to start with, usually the industry faces high initial costs due to investments in clean technologies, or maybe the technologies which are catering to sustainable environment or sustainable practices, and also eco-friendly materials which are often more costly than the normal ones. Securing funds or convincing the investors for the long term benefits is often very challenging, because people do not believe, or they do not have confidence in such kind of investments and projects, because the green enterprise entrepreneurs are still not very common, and therefore the investors, they are reluctant in investing in such projects where they feel that the market is not confident enough to respond to the given product. So it is a big challenge to find investors, or convincing them and securing funds from them. Second, another issue, the lack of confidence of these investors is because of the limited or uh, very restricted awareness among the consumers regarding the circular products or green entrepreneurship. The consumers, they are not aware still to a large extent regarding the benefits of green products and services that can hinder the market acceptances. So, no doubt, it is very important to educate the consumers. So, educating the consumers about the environmental impact of their choices is very crucial for the success of green entrepreneurship. Until as more and more people become educated, more and more consumers, they are aware of these products and these products manufactured by more sustainable methodologies, they won't be sold and there will be no profits, and therefore this has to be generated in a better way, developed in a better way. Green entrepreneurs also, in the market, since they are new, it is a new concept, they have to compete with conventional businessmen that may offer low cost alternatives, because the conventional entrepreneurs, they are producing the goods in the traditional way, and they have a minimum cost of production. Obviously, if it is done in a different methodology or sustainable methodology, producing by using the clean technology, which is quite expensive, this raises the cost of production. So overcoming this competition, it's very tough for them then to survive in the market, and to overcome this competition and convincing the consumers of the value of environmentally friendly products can be very challenging, often by the green producers. There are certain regulatory hurdles also. In stringent regulations or lack of clear policies that support the green initiatives can create lots of obstacles for green entrepreneurs. Because anything that is starting new, obviously, even there is restricted or limited regulatory framework which is available for the green entrepreneur. So, advocacy for supportive policies and navigating complex regulatory environments can be time consuming, and therefore people try to avoid this. They find it more difficult to tackle this part, this aspect. Another big challenge for the green entrepreneurs that they get, it is very challenging to access the traditional financing. As financial institution, they may perceive or they may just consider the environmental ventures as more riskier, again maybe because of limited awareness among the consumers, and therefore there will be lack of demand or restricted demand for such products, and therefore the financial institutions, they are more apprehensive in investing in this. Therefore, developing alternative funding sources or engaging engaging with impact investors, it becomes very essential or very important. Because it's very difficult when there is no capital or lack of capital. It's very difficult to start or run the business with the technologies, which is even more costlier than the normal ones. Then we have a supply chain complexity existing, which poses a big challenge to this industry. Uh, Actually, sourcing the sustainable material and ensuring the green supply chain can be quite challenging. The limited availability of eco-friendly resources rather, because they are not available in bulk quantities and every time. It is there is a process of getting that eco-friendly resources, and the need for the collaboration with the suppliers. It poses logistical issues and also the cost challenges. So there is a complexity in the supply chain which is not very conducive till now. So this poses a big challenge and threat to the industry. uh, another point that must be paid attention to, that is the technological risk. Investing in new and emerging clean technologies actually involves huge risks, as the technologies may not always be proven or they are commercially viable. Not proven because they are still coming up. There is still research, and innovations going on in developing the technologies which are more conducive for a sustainable environment, more conducive for that. So entrepreneurs, they are not very commonly used. So therefore entrepreneurs, they need to investing in new and emerging clean technology involves risks, as the technologies may not always be proven or may be commercially viable, because since these technologies, there is still under process, there is still researches are going on with lots of innovations and inventions added to the technologies part. So it is not well established yet, and therefore it is difficult, it is difficult to invest in something which is new, and maybe it is risky. So we don't find investors who are willing to invest in these new technologies. So there are technological risk, and therefore entrepreneurs, they need to navigate the technological uncertainties and ensure the reliability of green solutions. Consumer behavior and preferences. Changing consumer behavior and their preferences now and then, and maybe they also there is we shouldn't be saying that there is no awareness at all. It is ever changing, and they are getting more educated. So maybe they are looking for maybe more sustainable options, but it is a slow process. It's not a fast. So convincing individuals to adopt the green product And services may require targeted marketing and more educational efforts also. People are maybe facing these challenges themselves, because buying something new and investing their money, spending their money on something new and not known, is a sort of maybe apprehensive purchases. Therefore, people are reluctant to do that, but more educational efforts have to be made in this direction. The next challenge that the industry faces is the scale up challenges. Scaling up green ventures can be challenging due to factors such as limited access to resources, market constraints, and the need for sustainable growth models. So more and more researches need to be done, and more sustainable growth model has to be developed, which can be conveniently be adopted by the consumers. Uh, After that, we can also see that there is a challenge related to measuring and communicating impact. Demonstrating the environmental and social impact of green venture can be very complex because of its recent upcoming. So, developing effective metrics for impact measurement and transparent communication is very essential for gaining the trust and credibility. So this aspect has to be developed and further, made more uh, user friendly also. Another part, that is global supply chains and outsourcing, can they also often pose strong challenges for green entrepreneurs, because they have very limited control over the environmental practices of partners or suppliers in the different region. Therefore, this challenge has to be tackled in maybe at a global, taking into consideration all the global scenarios at the same time, but it is not in control of some or few individuals. Next is technological obsolescence. Because there is rapid technological advancement, which is leading to outdated or maybe obsolescence of certain green solutions. Continuous innovations and adaptation to emerging technologies, they are very essential to technologies are very essential to stay competitive in the market in the given. So technologies are ever changing, new things are coming into the market. So we must learn how to adapt them, how to use them, utilize them in order to produce the latest and most sustainable products and services. So, in all, we can say that addressing these challenges requires a combination of innovative thinking, strategic planning in a very organized and structural way, collaboration with stakeholders, and advocacy for supportive policies. Green entrepreneurs must navigate a complex landscape in order to create a successful, sustainable, and impactful businesses. So they have to face quite a number of challenges which conventional or old businesses do not face, because they are already established and in their comfort zones, whereas these entrepreneurs who are taking new initiatives, but which is the urgent requirement of the time in order to protect the next or the upcoming generation. So these challenges must be tackled. Next, we come to the risks that are involved in uh, green entrepreneurship. It is just like any other businesses or any other ventures. Even the green entrepreneurs, they face entrepreneurship comes with its own risk factors and risk variables. Identifying and managing these risks is very important for the success and sustainability of the environmentally conscious businesses. And there are some very common and popular risks which are associated with the green entrepreneurship, and they are the first is market acceptance risk. That is, the consumer's acceptance of green product and services is very, very uncertain, because of their lack of education in this domain, their lack of awareness, and their lack of awareness regarding the environmental issues, the what the damages that can be caused to the environment with the traditional production system or methods. And therefore, the awareness and the demand for sustainable options, they are very different. They vary from consumer to consumer. So it is very important that this consumer awareness must be generated at a rigorous pace in order to control this factor, and encourage people to purchase more and more sustainable products produced by the green entrepreneurship. So, how can we mitigate these risks? Maybe by effective marketing, by educating and communicating strategies to the consumers. If we go for rigorous marketing, in the sense that telling them, teaching them, or sharing with them the advantages, the benefits of using those products, how they are contributing in protecting the next generation, etc. This way, once we communicate and educate them well, I think that can help the consumers to become more aware, and maybe then this will help in trust building too among the consumers, and will help them to promote the consumption of these products made by the green entrepreneurships. Next, which we also saw as a challenge, that is regulatory and policy risk. The changes in the environmental regulation or lack of consistent policies that support the green initiative, they can impact the business operations. So it means that these regulatory framework need to be updated. They need to be changed and improved in related to sustainable development, sustainable production. So, in order to reduce this, I think mitigate this challenge or risk, we can do it by staying informed about the regulatory changes, engaging in advocacy efforts, and maybe building flexibility into the business models in order to develop or adopt the ever evolving policies, etc. That is, and to take up the measures which are there within the framework of the regulatory provisions. Next risk is in the green entrepreneurship is the technological risks. Uh, Actually, investing in emerging green technologies, it poses the risk of technological obsolescence, or maybe unforeseen challenges in implementation. So, how can we reduce it, or how can we minimize it? We can do it, conduct a thorough research pilot projects, and stay abreast of technological advancements. We can diversify the technology investments, which can also help manage the risk. That is, by diversifying the investments from different sources, maybe then it will be the risk does not fall on one person or one head. So that can be done in order to minimize the risk related to the technology. Next is supply chain vulnerabilities. Actually, dependency on suppliers for sustainable material and services, they can lead to disruption due to maybe shortage, or maybe lack of availability, or price fluctuations, or changes in the suppliers' practices. So, how do we mitigate it? Maybe by building a resilient and diversified supply chain, fostering a strong supplier relationship by the businesses, and also exploring more local sourcing options so that you do not depend on one single source, and where if and face all the risks and challenges. So these can be a way out of facing the supply chain that you face in the supply chain cases. Next risk associated is the high financial cost and at the same time limited capital access. These two things, they because cost of production is quite high because of clean technologies, and lack of confidence of the investor leads to limited access to capital. This poses an uncertainty about because it poses an uncertainty about the returns on green investment, which poses a huge financial risk. And to do away with this, I think careful financial planning is needed, is required, and at the same time we must also explore the alternative funding resources. If one party or one body is not ready or willing to invest in the green entrepreneurship, then maybe alternative sources should be explored and searched upon, who are willing to pay, maybe who are willing to invest in your project, and engaging and one must also try to engage with impact investors who share the commitment for sustainability. So maybe you will have to search out those investors who are willing or who are ready to invest in the risky project or in the new project like green entrepreneurship. Maybe if you get the like-minded people, it will be easy for you to find funds for your business. Next is the competitive pressure. That is, intense competition from the conventional businesses or the green competitors also, who are already established in the market, though they are few in number, but still they pose competition. It can, because they affect the market share and the profitability. So you have to do away with this, or to conquer this challenge or risk. You have to differentiate your business through innovation, or that is, innovation means you add on more features to your product, you add in more qualities to your product, and you can also go for branding it and emphasizing the products and services unique environmental and social benefits. That is, when you're marketing your product, you have to highlight that how your product is different and how it is unique from those products which are already existing, the close similar products that are already existing in the market. You can also throw light or emphasize on the social benefits of that the product may lead into. So this way you can do away, or you can conquer the competitive pressure that is already built around you at the time of establishing a green entrepreneurship. Next, we must we have to also check the brand reputation related risk. Brand reputation, actually, see, negative publicity, greenwashing accusation, or failures to maintain high environmental status or standards can often harm the brand's reputation. Negative publicity means maybe some people they talk they talk about the harms of the green products, that since they are reused from the already existing products which have been already used by some other consumers, maybe they have some other negative impacts. So that is called negative publicity. Greenwashing accusation is when, suppose there some of the brands, they may be claiming more related to green manufacturing, though maybe they are not following it. That is greenwashing. That is when you try to pose as if you are following or adopting the green production method, or sustainable production method, but in reality you are not doing it. So if you face those kind of accusation, maybe you are generally doing it, but people don't believe in you and they accuse you of greenwashing, or maybe you face a failure of maintaining the high environmental standards. If these things happen, then there is always a, the brand reputation get tarnished. Your brand reputation will get tarnished, and it will be harm, they will be harmed by such kind of publicity, negative publicity. So what you have to do in order to overcome these challenges or risk, maybe you have to, first of all, you have to be very transparent in your policies. You have to be very authentic, and you have to have a very genuine commitment to continuous improvement in sustainable practices. I think these activities, if you are maintaining the transparency, authenticity, these will help you build and maintain a positive brand image, and also fight those people who, or those bodies who try to tarnish your image or harm your this brand reputation. So this way one can overcome this. Next is the global supply chain risk. It is, relying on the global supply chain may expose businesses to geopolitical risks, ethical concerns, and challenges in monitoring the environmental practices in different regions. And therefore, to do away with this, you must conduct a thorough due diligence on global partners, adopt ethical sourcing practices, and stay informed about the global trends and the risks. Next comes the changing consumers' preferences now and then. For this, I think you have to stay attuned to the market dynamics. You have to be really updated, and you have to really know the market well. And for this, you will be conducting the market research. You will be penetrating yourself and just check out what the consumers prefer and what they don't. And you have to maintain the flexibility in a product and service offering. That is, you should have the flexibility of switching over to the products immediately, or to the new demand immediately, as there is a change in taste and preference and demand of the consumers. There is a natural risk related to natural risk. Actually, a dependence on some specific natural resources may be threatened by environmental changes. Maybe if there is a scarcity of those products or those resources, or there are some ethical concerns related to the extraction. For example, once the sheep wool was very famous for keeping the, so the keeping or producing the warmest clothing that was possible. But then later on, there were some ethical concerns related to it, and it was restricted. Control was put there, and there were restrictions that how you have to bring up and feed and look after the sheep in order to produce these woolen products out of this. So one has to take care of this. Once you face these challenges, you must, what one can do is diversify the resource inputs. That is, look for some other resources or for of the inputs. Adopting the circular economy principles can be another option, and maybe you can explore into find or get the alternative materials and the sources. Next is the political and economic risk or stability risk. Political instability and economic downturn, they can impact the regulatory environment, because maybe the new political party comes up with some new provisions and new policies. And there can be variation in the consumer spending and overall business operations also. So for this, what you have to do is you have to go for scenario planning. That is, first you have to remain alert of the market conditions, of alert of the political system, and what parties are going to overtake and how they are going to impact the policies and regulatory framework. And you, for this, you can always go for a more diversified market. You can diversify your markets and stay informed about the geopolitical and the economic trends. And the last risk, that is social license to operate. It is another risk that looms over the green entrepreneurs for most of the time, because lack of community support or perceived negative social impacts can threaten the business's social license to operate. And to overcome this, you have to keep yourself engaging with the local communities, addressing the concerns transparently, and contributing positively to the community development. So, after understanding these risks, we can understand that we know now that how the green entrepreneurs, they need to conduct through risk assessments. They have to develop robust mitigation strategies, or the strategies that can quickly overcome these risks, um, and maintain the agility to successfully adapt to changing conditions, to navigate the challenges which are associated with the green entrepreneurship. So, this is all about the risks and how the entrepreneurs must mitigate them. We do this much in this session. Thank you.